Hello everyone, today I'm gonna show you how to make this flap closure shoulder bag pattern with Adobe Illustrator. This shoulder bag features flap closure and the interior. There is a cell phone pocket in the back and there is a zipper pocket in the front, and the gusset size is 3 inches thick. It's really roomy, and the shoulder strap is detachable. It's roomy enough for our daily busy life. Let's get started. Make 2 artboards. The size is 14 inches wide by 28 inches high, and use rectangle tool. The size is 12 inches by 24 inches. This will be our main panel, the flap back in front and the gusset. The height of the bag will be 7 inches, so the front and the back will be 7 inches, and the gusset will be 3 inches, and also give a 3 inches to the flap part. I'm using templates before start to divide those flap back and the front parts. We need to make sure to show the rulers. The first template is a line which is 7 inches long, and the second template is a line which is 3 inches long. And later I'm going to make another template which is 4 inches long. And then put the guide where 7 inches long located, and the 3 inches that is going to be our flap gusset, let me call it. Mark the pieces using type tool. This piece, it will be the flap. Make sure the stroke is black, the fill is none, and use line tool to draw a line to mark where 7 inches will be. After you draw the first mark, you can just copy it and place the mark in all positions. And now use the template, 7-inch template, to locate the back part of the bag. Now I group those 2 marks and make a copy of them, so we don't have to draw these lines every time. Make sure when you move it, you press the Option and Shift key at the same time. Now move the guide to where the 7-inch template is, which is going to be our back of the bag, and make a copy of these 2 marks where the 7-inch is. So now we mark the back and the flap. Now I'm going to name the piece we just marked as back. Just use copy and paste. Actually, when you make a copy, you just press Option down and drag whatever element you're making copy. Now I'm using the second template, 3-inch template, to mark the gusset and place the marks. Because I'm using smart guides, so I don't really have to move the guides. So this is going to be the gusset, 3-inch thick. Now make a copy of the name of this area. Change the name to gusset. And also the last section of this main piece will be the front. So make a copy of the name and change it to front. So let me move these templates out of the main piece area because I don't need them anymore. Mark the piece as main piece. In the lining, we need one for outer fabric, one lining, and one heavy-duty stabilizer. When cut the stabilizer, you're now going to use seam allowance. All seam allowance in my pattern will be 1/2 inch. Now I need to mark the position of the shoulder strap band. To do so, I'm making a rectangle template, rectangle shape. Which is where the shoulder band will be located. The location of the shoulder strap band is going to be in the middle of the gusset on the flap section. Because on both ends of this shoulder strap band will be a loop where I'm going to replace a D-ring, so the shoulder strap will hook in the D-ring. So the location of the shoulder strap band should be the same width as the main piece. The length will be the same as the width of the main piece. It's going to be 1 inch wide after folded. Now I'm going to mark the position of the cell phone pocket, which is going to be on the back piece of the main piece. The size of the cell phone pocket will be 10 inches wide and 4 inches tall. So I draw a rectangular shape and place it in the back section of the main piece. And it's going to be closer to the bottom gusset, not all the way level and on the same level, but it's going to be very close to the bottom. Now just copy that note and mark this piece as cell phone pocket position. Now I'm going to mark the zipper pocket position using the same tool as cell phone pocket position. The zipper pocket position is going to be very close to the top of the front piece. I made a template which is 4 inches long in length to position the zipper pocket opening. And now I'm going to mark the tongue lock female part position. The idea of this bag is that when the flap is closed, we're gonna leave 3 inches gusset. The flap section is actually 7 inches wide and in length, so leave 3 inches for the gusset. Actually, you can say also as a thickness of the bag, and the rest of it will be 4 inches. So fold the flap by 4 inches. The female part of the tongue lock will be 4 inches down from the top of the front piece. So I'm gonna use that template to mark where the female part of the tongue lock will be placed. So now we already finished the main piece of this bag. Now let's continue to make other parts of this bag. Now I'm gonna make the cell phone pocket. Use rectangle tool, draw a rectangle. The size is 10 inches by 4 inches. And then we're gonna fold this in half. Now I'm gonna make the seam allowance, which is 1/2 inch wide. I'm using pattern offset pattern tool to make this seam allowance and change the stroke point to 1 point. And then I need to mark it as cell phone pocket. And after that, I need to mark the fold in half. I'm using direct selection tool to cut those 2 points on both the main rectangle and the seam allowance rectangle, and delete this main rectangle line and use the seam allowance line cutoff line to make the dash line, and which will show that this piece you need to fold that in half. So we are done with the cell phone pocket piece, which we will need 1 lining and 1 piece for interfacing. And next we're going to make a copy of this and use it as zipper pocket piece. The zipper pocket will be a little smaller, which is going to be 9 inch wide and 4 inch tall, and change the name of the pattern. And next thing, we're going to make the shoulder strap band, which we're going to place in the center of the gusset on the flap piece, where we're going to place those 2 D-rings. The size of the shoulder strap band will be 12 inches plus the fold section, which is going to be 4 inch on each end. Then it's going to be 12 plus 2 plus 2 will be 16 inches. And the width of this band will be 1 inch wide. So the total size measurement of this band will be 16 inch wide and 4 inches tall. I'm using a template which is a 2 inch line to mark where the D-ring and the band will be folding for D-rings. after I finish the marks and everything, I'm going to place it on the side of this artboard. Just use transform, rotate by 90 degrees. And then mark where the loop will be formed. And the last thing I need to do is the side panels. For the side panels, I want it to be a little wider on the top and a little narrow on the bottom, which is the gusset size, 3 inches wide on the bottom. On the top will be 5 inches. To do so, I draw a rectangle and 5 by 7 inches, because the height of the bag is 7 inches. And then I use a 3-inch template as the bottom of the side piece, and then use direct selection tool to move the bottom points to the width of 3 inches, and then make the bottom two points as round corners. The last thing I'm gonna do is to mark the center of the side panel, also the main panel. complete this pattern, we'll need to write down what we need accessories for making this pattern. We'll need one shoulder strap, which is going to be 1 inch wide by 16 inches long, and 1 8-inch zipper, 2 1-inch D-rings, and a set of tongue lock. Here we have it. This is the pattern to make this very practical flap closure shoulder bag. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like, and have a great day. See you next time.